Why is breastfeeding so controversial? I remember how shocked I was when my friend needed to breastfeed. At her birthday party, no less. At a restaurant, and was all anxious and upset because the baby's father got angry when she did it. In public. Imagine being angry that your partner fed your baby in public. You hear about this kind of thing, but actually witnessing it, I was literally paralyzed with shock. Because centuries of making them sexual playthings have made old people think that it's inappropriate to feed your baby in public. When my wife was nursing, she pumped at work and kept her milk in an opaque lunch bag that was zipped up in the break room fridge. Someone obviously opened the bag because HR told my wife that someone said there was milk in the bag, and the guy complained that it made him think of breasts. WTF. Long story short, my wife raised hell, received a pumping room with a dedicated fridge, and HR lady had to take sensitivity training and was very close to getting fired. Breasts are hyper-sexualized, especially in the States. And if you choose not to breastfeed, you're seen as less than, or it's bad parenting. There's no winning here. I mentioned in the States because I cannot speak for other cultures. But responses are making it clear this is a larger issue than an American one. Some people think breasts are inherently sexual, even though feeding babies is literally what they're for. Anything involving a woman's body is heavily policed and scrutinized. As a poor brown from Asia Gen X who was breastfed, I always felt looked down upon for being breastfed as a child. Like it was something only uncivilized poor people did. Advanced cultures fed their babies scientifically advanced baby foods. But over the last 20 years or so, breastfed has definitely made a comeback, as well as not being circumcised. Maybe it was a cultural superiority thing. Maybe a marketing space-age foods thing. And maybe a prudish thing, all combining? Name another mammal that doesn't breastfeed. Trend started in the 50s with the commercial sales of Formular. I work in a bank opening accounts for people, including multiple new mothers. On occasion, they've needed to feed their baby. They've checked with me if it's okay. I say yes, and leave the room for a moment while they get set up. Then they give me a nod and I come back in and carry on as if nothing has happened. Because it's perfectly normal and people shouldn't care. I was breastfeeding in a hospital and a nurse told me to do it in the bathroom. I made such a stink about it. I was pissed. I think so many problems rotate around people forgetting the fact that we are 100% animals. Just like every other animal on the spinning mudrock. Actually, there is an element of breast is best crowd who can make moms who struggle to produce enough for their kids feel like less than. It's not controversial. Do you mean breastfeeding in public? It became trendy in Europe for aristocracy to have a wet nurse, so breastfeeding became something unseemly that a well-bred woman would never do, especially in public. The Victorian era was all about civilized women being totally covered in a massively complicated dress and multiple different underthings, and it's been very difficult to chip away at that. The 1900s was spent slowly allowing women to progressively remove all the unnecessary undergarments to get to the bra and panty norm we have now. But there is still a lot of leftover stigma to overcome. Because some people think they have the right to control other people's bodies, particularly where sex is concerned. And they can't think of women as anything but sex objects. My son was 2 and I went out to dinner with my brother's family. When my son began doing the "I'm hungry" cry, I had my mom help me cover up with the little blanket while I got him latched so I could continue eating and chatting. Shortly after, My brother started fuming and telling me how disgusting that was and that I shouldn't do that in a restaurant, in front of a bunch of people eating. I got pissed, began crying and walked out. Safe to say I don't have a relationship with him anymore. Some extremely socially conservative people believe women's breasts should never be seen except by their husbands or infants, and any departure from this is considered a sexual transgression. Breastfeeding in public or semi-private areas allows for the possibility that a stranger might see. It's not controversial. There's just some loud control freaks out there. Puritanical views have sexualized every aspect of a woman's body to the point breastfeeding, especially in public, is seen as dirty and inappropriate. For the life of me, I cannot fathom how breastfeeding became an issue. Which leads me to believe that only the ignorant take issue with it as it a completely natural way to nourish our young. I'll read the comment section for the real answer. Haha. Because people are being little bitches. Can't stand PPL that sexualize everything.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.